I've always had a fascination with trains. The rhythmic clatter of the wheels, the gentle sway as it glides along the tracks. But I never expected my love for trains would lead to the most terrifying night of my life. I boarded the train at dusk, the station bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. It was a small, almost forgotten town, and I was one of the few passengers. As the train pulled away, I settled into my seat, the carriage nearly empty. The interior was old-fashioned, with wooden paneling and dim lighting that flickered occasionally. A chill crept in, the kind that makes you pull your jacket closer. I glanced around, noticing only a handful of other passengers scattered throughout. The train picked up speed, racing into the deepening night. I leaned back, trying to relax, but an unsettling feeling gnawed at me. Something about the train felt off, like it was moving with a purpose beyond reaching the next station. The conductor passed through, a tall man with a stern face. He moved silently, checking tickets with mechanical precision. When he reached me, his eyes lingered a moment too long, as if he knew something I didn't. I shrugged it off, attributing it to my imagination. The night deepened, shadows stretching across the carriage. I tried to read, but my eyes kept drifting to the window, where fleeting images seemed to dance just beyond the glass. Shapes that didn't belong, figures that vanished when I blinked. I was about to dismiss it as a trick of the light when the train plunged into a tunnel. Darkness enveloped us, the air growing heavy. The lights flickered and died, leaving only the sound of wheels thundering on the tracks. In the pitch black, a whisper threaded through the carriage, chilling and clear. "Help us!" I froze, my heart pounding. The whisper seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere, echoing in the confined space. I strained to see, but the darkness was absolute. The lights sputtered back to life, and I was alone. The other passengers were gone, their seats empty. Panic surged as I stumbled to my feet, searching for any sign of them. I moved down the aisle, the carriage eerily silent. The door to the next carriage loomed ahead, slightly ajar. I hesitated, then pushed it open, stepping into another empty compartment. Each carriage I passed through was the same. Vacant seats, no signs of life. The whispers followed, a constant undercurrent of fear. "You shouldn't be here." The train felt endless, an unbroken chain of loneliness stretching into infinity. I ran, desperation clawing at me, each carriage a mirror of the last. Finally, I reached the engine room. The door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit space. The controls were unmanned, the train speeding on its own. Just as I turned to leave, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was the conductor, his face twisted in anguish. He opened his mouth, but the whispers spoke for him. "We're trapped, all of us." I backed away, my mind spinning. The train wasn't just a vehicle, it was a prison, a vessel for lost souls, and I was now part of its haunting journey. The conductor stepped closer, eyes pleading. "You can help us," he whispered, the words cutting through the air like a knife. "How?" I asked, voice trembling. "Stop the train." I turned to the controls, fear knotting my stomach. I had no idea what I was doing, but I couldn't let this nightmare continue. I grasped the lever, pulling with all my strength. The train shuddered, metal screeching as it fought against its momentum. The world outside blurred, reality bending as the train slowed. The whispers intensified, a cacophony of voices rising in desperation. I held on, willing the train to stop, to release us from its grasp. With a final groan, the train came to a halt. Silence descended, the air heavy with anticipation. The conductor nodded, a flicker of gratitude in his haunted eyes. "Thank you," he murmured before fading into nothingness. I stumbled from the engine room, the train now eerily still. When I stepped outside, the dawn was breaking, soft light painting the landscape with hope. I turned back to the train, but it was gone, vanished like a wisp of smoke. Only the tracks remained, stretching into the distance. I never spoke of that night, but I often returned to the spot where the train disappeared. I listened for the whispers, a reminder of the souls I helped set free. And sometimes, late at night, I hear the distant sound of a train, a ghostly echo riding the wind.